Get your popcorns out. We're gonna see what this video is all about, okay, guys? Huge player return. Classic hasn't felt this active in months. All right.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. WillE here. Today I want to talk about the state.
Man, that's a nice beard. Sorry for pausing already. Man, it's 3 seconds in, I'm already pausing. That's a nice looking beard, man. That looks fucking sick, man. You think I can grow a beard like that? I think I could. Just give it a little bit of time, okay? Dude, if I were to grow this out for 2 months, I'll get that, man, for sure.
The game ever since the pre-patch has arrived, and just the amount of players that have come back in such a short space of time. And I'm going to start this off by saying something rather controversial.
Okay.
I actually think Blizzard have been doing a pretty good job at handling things since the pre-patch has arrived.
Oh.
It's not perfect, sure, but compared to how we've had Classic for the longest period of time, it is a big improvement, which may just be resulting from how little communication we've had for the longest period of time. So now it started happening, it feels like a night and day difference. I will agree with that at least. But at the same time, we have many issues which are being brought up by the community that are being answered pretty quickly by Blizzard at this point in time. Remember that very
Some have and some haven't, okay? Yeah.
brief period where you're able to invite people from different realms into dungeons or raids, and a day later Blizzard confirmed, no, that's just a bug. Well, that's what I've been led to believe anyway. I've seen more than one tinfoil comment that they were just testing the waters to see how the community would react to it.
Yeah. The thing is, guys, man, some things, it's so weird with Blizzard, man. Some things they fix like insta, like pop, like that, right? And other things they just let be for like fucking months or years. You know there was a bug as well with rogues? Right now, there is a bug with rogues. I'm not sure if they fixed this. You can currently control your own energy gain by casting like low-level potions in the middle of your energy tick. So let's say you're in the middle of your energy tick and you cast like a low-level potion, then you get like 15 energy like while ticking that. So you could potentially, like, you could get a half energy tick, get enough for a kick, and then use that energy to kick in the middle of a tick. I don't know, man. All right, moving on.
Honestly, I don't think we'll be having a conversation about anything cross-realm related until Wrath of the Lich King, when we will get into that lovely argument of should
Probably
LFG
not
be in from launch, or should it be in at all for that matter. Can't wait for that one. Honor gains in the pre-patch initially were clearly way too powerful. You were able to earn several pieces of epic gear in no time at all, and Blizzard nerfed it by a factor of 10, and then people said, well, that seems a bit over the top, when in reality it's not actually entirely far off how it was back in the day from what I've been able to see. The research I've done, I'll show you some video footage I found from the pre-patch back in the day as well, and you'd be surprised how little honor you were given then. But we do have a shorter pre-patch, so they...
I was just about to say that. The original classic WoW... the original vanilla WoW pre-patch to TPC was 46 days. The one we got is 12 days. So we're getting a 4 times as short pre-patch as we had back in the day.
They have changed it. They've doubled it. In fact, they've given us a sign of battle similar to how it works on retail. So now the epic gear is much more in reach again. Once again, they didn't have to do this. They could have just left it as is and said, nope, this is the game. This is how it was. This is accurate to back then. But they have boosted it up on top of the actual holiday weekend and doubled honor from honorable kills as well. So it's gone from being nerfed 10 times to increased by like 4 to 5 times around that mark. So essentially, if you put in some grind for PvP, you'll be able to get yourself some nice armor and weapons.
True. Which
Which is fine because people of rank 14 have had such a long time to benefit from those. They've been able to buy their mounts with a little bit of gold, and they're going to get their title moving forwards. Of course, there'll always be people unhappy that casuals have access to that gear now, but what can I say? History is repeating itself in that regard. And then,
like, I know a lot of people are really salty about, like, you know, fresh players being able to just buy the gear. TPC is out in like fucking 7 days. It's not like you get the title or anything like that. It's just like, yeah, you put in some time to farm the gear and you get whatever the fuck, right? It doesn't really matter. And it's just like for leveling either way. Like the classic WoW is over in like 7 days, regardless, right?
and we look at a bunch of the other changes Blizzard has decided to make, stopping
Like
the
80 hours
dungeon bots
is
being
actually like child's play compared to ranking.
used in raids,
It's the same
stopping
amount, just more days. Nope, it's not.
profession
You cannot
swapping of
compare it at
dual
all.
crafting and enchanting, the changes to drums and adding the tonight debuff so less people in your raid will need leatherworking if you are min-maxing. The actual content pacing and dividing up
18 to 20 hours a day.
There's been a lot of good decision making that's gone on, and I'm happy to see that given the sort of relaxation of no changes that these things have been happening. Of course, then there's the microtransaction side, but I feel like that is a whole different track from what we've been seeing.
Some
the
people
in-game changes, because
I'm actually pausing, Andy. I'm very sorry, guys. The fact that some people have done rank 14 grind multiple times is insane to me. There are people that's done it like 4 times on like different private servers and Classic WoW. There's even people who's ranked to 14 multiple times on Classic WoW. Man, like, why?
Those are to do with added value instead, but no doubt some people will see no changes has gone, therefore obviously that means microtransactions, which I don't agree with personally. Moving on though, as of the pre-patch, obviously the world is incredibly alive, as is the boosting scene for mages and paladins at the moment. Now honestly, we could have always predicted this, and there will always be people who will boost no matter what scenario you give them. You could have given people a 1-week pre-patch or a 1-month pre-patch, and the exact same people would have boosted their characters through dungeons again and again. It really doesn't matter what time frame it is. There was a level 60 paladin about 12 hours after the server came up, and a shaman not much longer than that either, because that is how some people play the game. I myself have been leveling my Draenei shaman on my other channel, which I use for streaming, which I'll link below, and I have to say the leveling XP changes get very noticeable after level 20 when they really start to kick in. In fact, before this launch, I thought one of the reasons the actual paid boost wouldn't be needed is because of these XP changes and so many more people coming back to the game. And I believe that has been largely true from what I've seen with the amount of people questing and so on and so forth. There is a lot of dungeon groups going, even though when you're searching for dungeon groups, mages tend to whisper you and say if you want to buy it instead. But if you're a newer or returning player, you don't have the gold to throw at them. So I think it would have been an issue that solved.
Are we done? Are we done? I thought I fostered you guys to be more chill, okay? And not, we're not fostering a spurky community here, okay?
Of itself, but hey, here we are. And I guess going on from the level boost, we have the paid boost. I've seen a lot, and I mean a lot, of people who have been boosting characters. I thought it'd be incredibly popular, but not to this extent.
It's crazy.
I've also seen so many of the mounts across the world, which kind of, I don't know, it runs a bit weird, to be honest. It stands out quite a bit from the other mounts as well. But you can see why Blizzard has decided to offer this service. The amount of people that have decided to jump on the train and just boost straight up to 58 has been huge.
Crazy.
And with so many people coming back, some old features from Classic have started to come back as well. Use and...
Dude, as AIDS as like this boost is and this mount is, when you see how many people that have bought the boosts and bought the mounts, you really understand why Blizzard did it, right? There are like so many. It is insane.
The layering are returning, or have been in the process of returning.
Yes, new betas.
They were already being tested on the actual beta briefly, but now we're in the pre-patch. They're really getting into full swing with some servers.
And like from like the investment of time that it takes to like level a character, or like let's say you work at McDonald's, right? And you get like, I don't know how much you make at McDonald's. You make 10 bucks an hour, right? You gotta work for McDonald's for like what, 4 hours to afford a boost, or you can play like the game for like what, 5 days / played, right?
And seeing queues at peak time. I've seen pictures of Felina, Pyrewood Village, where I am had queues. Mankrik on the Horde PvE side looks like it's going to be an absolutely enormous realm, as all the Horde people who've decided they don't like PvP
That's pretty high,
are crowding to that place at the moment. Not to mention layers, which again I've heard Mankrik has had up to 6. Pyrewood, where I am, has had up to 4 as well. You can get the Nova World Buffs add-on to see how many layers there are and which one you are on at the moment. Speaking of layers, it's going to be the final point in time when we have to really worry about getting world buffs with different layers. But
I am so happy about this. I'm so fucking done with world buffs. I'm at my last straw with world buffs. I cannot wait to be done with world buffs, man.
For some reason, the world buffs aren't dropping cross-layer anymore, which was a change they made some time ago when they had layers. But it's just not happening anymore, so it's making getting world buffs incredibly annoying for these last few weeks when we have to worry about it. But even still, you should only be needing to get world buffs for this week if you're raiding, next week, and then a set of world buffs to go across the Dark Portal, because you should be able to use them in dungeons still up to level 63. All the various class changes have been super interesting to look at, and it just feels so nice, especially playing some of the hybrid classes that feel as though they've been pigeonholed into just healing. Have their new competence.
It's so interesting to see the raids where like hunters are actually performing so well now, and like all the new like pre-patch specs are so interesting to see. Like the game is very different just by changing the specs and like the talents. The game is so different, man.
Season tanking or dealing damage in various ways as well. One of the most interesting bit about MMORPGs, or just RPGs in general, is trying to figure out how to get the most out of your character. The road to min-maxing has always been very interesting for me, and it's something that can be taken away when you start the game already knowing what the min-max is, and you don't really have to put any of your brain work into it. It's already been done for you. So it's a very interesting period of time at the moment.
It's fun.
Just to give a quick note about some of the class stuff as well, which I didn't mention in the previous video. If you summon a Felguard, you still need to go to the Demon Trainer and learn the Grimoires for them. They won't have them by default. Similar with Hunter training for your pets, you definitely want to go to your pet trainer, learn all the new stuff, untalent your pet, and then relearn the new stuff. You got some things like Avoidance and Cobra Reflexes, which are just kind of really good for everyone. So I would recommend going and checking that out. Also, you can tame...
It's the same thing with Warrior, man. You need to go pick up some shit at your trainer too, like the stance dancing and stuff like that. You need to go pick that up too.
Ravagers at the moment, which are very good pets for TBC. If you go over to Azure Mist Isle, I think there's a few other places for them, but I've seen some level capped Ravagers already, so some people are pretty keen. Also, pet speed has been normalized, so use whatever you like, really. It depends what your pet's abilities are, rather than their attack speed now. Also, PvP has gone from kinda dead after the honor changes to really popular at the moment. So it is currently a Arathi base in a holiday weekend. It was Eye of the Storm initially, which was definitely an oversight that should have seen coming, and they had to do a server reset to get it to the correct one. But now it is, and for Europe at the moment, for example, we had nearly 300 ABs going at once the other day, which is really good to see. Again, I think, and I always bring this up pretty much every time I mention PvP, pre-mating should have been nerfed. It should have been nerfed a year ago. They should have just lowered the amount of people you can go into a battleground with, like 4 or 5 for AB or 3 or 4 for Warsong Gulch, so it's a bit more spread out and it doesn't feel like half the...
I think the most weird shit about the new pre-patch is the fact that some people are doing losing pre-mates. Some people are doing AB pre-mates, but the entire goal of their pre-mate is just to lose. They're doing as fast games as possible so they can just lose and just get like the minimum effort for it, right?
Auto losses. Also, I've heard about people actually choosing to just pre-made an AFK in their base so that they can earn marks of honor as fast as possible, which again is kind of an unintended feature of how the game's worked. How if the best way to play the game is not to play the game, then the game's kind of not very good. But if you're farming the marks for the previous rank 11 mounts, then that's a pretty fast way to do it, isn't it, unfortunately? We'll have to see how this continues to play out into actual TBC. Battlegrounds will still be popular then because people want their offset gear for early seasons and so on and so forth. Finally, just to give it a quick mention, there is actually a pre-patch event in TBC. It takes literally about 5 minutes. If you head over to where the Dark Portal is, there'll be a quest there.
True.
You pick it up, they say go kill 6 invading Felguard.
You guys should do this if you haven't already.
And they give you a copy-paste tabard of the Argent Dawn, which when you click on it does some Holy Nova type effect. Head over there, get that done. It's a nice, easy one to pick up. The final thing to remark on is Classic Error. I'm not sure if any of you guys are particularly invested in them or plan to copy a character or perhaps just have a character who stays in them at the moment. At this point in time, it really is too early to say how they will end up being, because even if you are heavily invested in Classic Era at the moment, I think a lot of people will still want to play the pre-patch stuff and just...
The Classic Era servers, from what I have seen, are pretty dead. You know, I still think, man, they should just make Classic fresh, man. Like, if they are trying to do this, like, Classic thing, they should just make fresh servers. And just go from phase 1. Maybe make the phases faster. Maybe make the phases twice as fast. I think there's actually like a lot of people who would want to do that.
Experience the new things in TBC. But I went over there the other day just to have a quick look, and it was about as active as I thought it would have been.
Seasonal content
grows. We'll give it a proper look a few months down the line.
I think seasonal content is not bad for a game. I genuinely don't think so. I think it's good. I like seasonal shit. I like that, like, there's like a new start, a fresh start, like every whatever the hell, right? Because for me, I think like I think fresh and like fresh starts to games is the most fun. Everybody is on the same level, everybody has nothing, and everybody's working up, right? I think that's fucking sick.
The line as to how it's all playing out, whether Blizzard have done any more server merges, what their plans are with them,
this is
potentially
servers,
whether
man.
they will even consider doing a fresh classic following a successful launch of TBC, which is something they have said they will consider in the past. So I'll be keeping my eyes on that for sure. Final thing to mention is regarding add-ons and things. I know there's quite a lot of changes for BC because unlike your normal expansions, we aren't just going on and every single add-on gets updated. People who create add-ons need one version for Classic Era to remain there, and another version for TBC. So I'll do an add-on update video soon to tell you what I've got and what I think is good and how you can get your hands on them as well.
Yep.
So expect that relatively soon once I've figured everything out. That's it though. Hope you guys are enjoying the pre-patch. Make the most of it because, hey, it's a short period of time, isn't it? And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. And I'll see you all in the next one.
All right, if you guys want to watch the video, there it is, man.
Very soon.
I like the points though. I feel like he makes like really good points actually. He's a really good informational Andy. Wow.